to this world, it's not that significant. That's interesting to him.
Yes?
So you mentioned a few moments ago about animals and their lack of awareness of death. How do you mean?
Conception of it, yeah.
Do you live in the physical sense or another sense? Because I've seen quite a few animals that are very aware towards the moment of their death.
Aware of what? Animals are?
I have been with animals that
Yes.
have exhibited great awareness towards the moment of death, physical death.
Mm-hmm. You mean they have got a kind of conception of death, a notion of death?
Their behavior, the way they behave towards their last days, I don't mean accidental death, but they get hit by a car, but in the process of knowing that they're going to go.
They're going to die, not
and
in...
digging stakes in the ground where they lay down, and I'm sure I believe I'm not the only one who has come across.
Yes, well, I mean, to that extent, yes. I mean, there are indications in the behavior of the animals that we might interpret, we might explain in our terms as if they were aware, they were conscious of their death or the approaching death. But mind you, we do not have any way or any channel in order to probe the world of animals. All we say about animals is by analogy. You see, by analogy. And you know, analogical reasoning is always very weak. I'm not saying that we should not use it, because that makes life easier to us. That makes their behavior more understandable to us. Okay, but we have to be aware of this weakness of the analogical reasoning. We always think that they resemble us. That is the basis of the analogical reasoning. And then we say that perhaps what they show toward their children is a kind of kindness. But we do not have any right to use that word here. This is only an analogy. We say that the motherhood, the kindness, as you say, the idea of death, and many other things in animals. Therefore, there is a very big, actually, problem here in understanding the behavior of the animals. So far, I mean, we had no way except to think that they are analogous to us, and they are animals. They have got the same feelings and the same sensations, and so on and so forth. And on the basis of this analogy, of course, we might say that perhaps they expect their death, perhaps they have got some kind of a notion of death and so on, but we cannot be certain of that. We are certain of ourselves only.
Although often we have witnessed animals sacrificing very consciously.
Again. This idea of sacrifice in animals, again, is very dubious. Very dubious. We have to be very careful using these notions here. Sacrifice. You know, sacrifice is a second-order behavior. According to philosophers, second-order behavior belongs to human beings. Only to human beings. Of course, first-order behaviors such as eating, drinking, and things like that, this is common to human beings and to animals, non-human beings. But second-order behaviors such as imitation, such as criticism, such as sacrifice, such as lying, and many other things. These are second-order behaviors. You wouldn't find them. Mockery, deceiving, things like that. Usually we say that, for example, there are animals who can use mockery and things. Which animals? The fox, and we say that parrots can imitate. But imitation is a second-order behavior, and all this. So one has to be absolutely very careful about using these concepts here. They are doing something which resembles. You see, by way of analogy, we might say that they are doing the same thing as we do, but we can never be certain of that. Just we make it intelligible to us.
One last question.
part of?
saying die before death, resurrect there.
Excuse me, perhaps I couldn't hear you properly. What was the question?
Is it the path of the mystic to practice death in life?
Yes, practice death in life, yeah.
And what does that involve in practicing death in life? Sacrifice ourselves out of love for the beloved, get to the essence of our being, to get to our angelic nature, to die before death and resurrect now.
Yeah, to die before death, yes, according to Rumi and most contemplative, does not mean a natural death before overnatural death. That is not what they mean. Die before death means kill yourself in order to achieve a better and a more perfect self. So die from what you are now. That is what they mean. So this means examine yourself very carefully and see what you are, and so sacrificing yourself for a better self, which of course in order to know what is the better self, you have to look into your beloved, because everybody has got his own beloved. So that is the meaning of the sacrifice in this world, roughly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before you leave, if you could just leave your evaluations up at the front, and thank you guys for making this happen. Really appreciate it.